We're 15 kilometres from the finish for the peloton. Only a few kilometres left before the denouement of this first stage of the Tour de France. For the moment, the peloton is still together. The race leaders are entering Landerneau. Another 3 kilometres and they'll be at the foot of the last climb, the Côte de la Fosse au Loup.
Guys, the start of the climb is very steep, but it eases off after that, and the final 400 metres are flat. You'll have to push at the right moment. Good luck.
The lead group is onto the Côte de la Fosse au Loup. It will be hard for them to hold out until the line.
He is all smiles as he climbs onto the podium. Applaud him. Here is the winner of the inaugural. He's amongst the leading riders this year. Here's the yellow jersey of this Tour de France. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honours. Here's the green jersey of this Tour de France. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honours. Here's the polka dot jersey of this Tour de France. He tops the standings and will receive the traditional honours. Here's the white jersey of this Tour de France.
Well done, lads. Congratulations to you. We were the pre-race favourites, and you lived...
Hello and welcome to all. We're in Brittany, the Côte d'Armor department to be precise. That will be the setting for the stage. With a finish on top of the Côte de Mur de Bretagne, there's no doubt that today's winner will be among the... best punchers in the peloton. One minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
The breakaway riders are increasing the gap. They are not dangerous for the overall standings. We can let them go.
Time gap stabilized.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race. The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front.
I'll make a big effort on the relay.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race. The next climb is classified as 4th category. That means 1 point to be had for the mountains classification. Another classified climb is in sight for the head of the race. Once again, there will be 1 point to be gleaned for the first rider over the top. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race. The breakaway is managing to hold off the peloton. The gap seems to have stabilized.
The breakaway is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
Okay, I'll follow any attacks.
Breakaway over.
Comme ça.
Allez les gars! Continuez comme ça! Bravo les gars! Allez les gars, courage! Allez les gars!
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the top of the climb.
The riders will soon be at the foot of the Côte de Mûr. However, before that, there's a small 4th category climb to be dealt with. The first passage across the top of the Mur de Bretagne climb will earn points for the mountains classification. But there will also be bonuses for the general classification. 8, 5 and 2 seconds for the first 3 riders.
Watch out! You'll soon have no more energy for an attack.
The first Mur de Bretagne climb is over, but physical exertions are far from over because the riders will be straight onto the Côte de Saint-Mahieu.
You still have 2 kilometers before you reach the summit.
There will be 1 point to be had towards the polka dot jersey at the top of the next climb.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. you were first over the top of the climb. That's good. A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer. He's been dropped. The stage is too much for him. The last 10 kilometers. We are heading for a grouped finish. Try to take points for our green jersey.
Allez les gars, courage!
Continue comme ça, lâchez rien, allez! Allez les gars, continue là, plus vite, plus vite!
Allez les gars! Continuez comme ça les gars, on est avec vous!
It's no doubt a bunched peloton that will begin the Mur de Bretagne climb in a few kilometres.
The last 5 kilometers. Get ready for the final sprint. Make sure that nobody opens up a gap on the overall standings.
Bravo les gars! Continuez comme ça! Courage!
Les voilà! And we're off. The peloton is on to the final climb. We'll have to keep something in reserve if we want to get away in the final kilometres. And here's the red pennant for the men at the front. Victory will be decided in a sprint. Another 500 metres to gain the upper hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, up he tops the standings and will receive the traditional. He will climb. We can say he will climb onto the.
The podium is good, but I was expecting more from you. We should have won.
Hello and welcome to all. Given the profile of today's stage, it's clear that the sprinters will have ambitions for victory. It will be very surprising if they don't harness their teammates to target a mass sprint in GtaV.
Not always a good idea to be too many in a break. As the others will not necessarily want to cooperate with us.
One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing. The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen. The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway.
The breakaway is losing ground.
The first riders are 2 kilometers from the climb. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It does. To be caught up that easily. The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The breakaway is losing ground. The breakaway is 10 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
His teammates are accelerating. They're no doubt readying the intermediate sprint. The head of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
Allez les gars, courage! Allez les gars, on continue comme ça! Allez les gars, courage! Lâchez rien, allez!
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. Attacked by the yellow jersey. Why make a move so far out? Watch out. You're not going to be able to attack much longer. He's asked his teammates to ride you down. You're too dangerous. He's in trouble. It's not sure that he'll be there for the sprint.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton. The riders will soon be going head-to-head on the final classified climb of the day, a 4th category ascent that offers 1 point.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
Last time check with the breakaway, 1 minute. The breakaway is in the sight of the peloton. There's little chance that it can hold off the sprinters' teams. The sprinters' teams have concentration in hand. The sprint is inevitable.
Les gars, courage!
Are you working tomorrow?
The final straight is 1.5 kilometers, guys. Perfect for a sprint. However, before that there are a few bends. The peloton could get strung out.
Yo.
The sprinters' teams have managed this stage perfectly. 5 kilometres out, the peloton is bunched and everything is in place for a mass sprint.
Just 5 more kilometers. We are heading for a mass sprint.
The sprinters are ready to fight it out. Well positioned on the wheel of their team members, they'll soon be burning rubber. The red pennant for the man in the front.
He succeeded in avoiding all the pitfalls to win today. He will climb onto the podium. He will climb onto the... He's amongst them. He's in sparkling...
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10...
Hello, cycling fans everywhere. For this trip across the Ille-et-Vilaine department, the riders won't be needing the small chain ring. There are no obstacles on the menu, and as usual in this sort of situation, we can expect to see the sprinters go head-to-head for stage victory.
Okay, guys. There's no need for any complicated diagrams today. It's totally flat, and it will finish in a sprint. I reckon that you can take it easy and sit on the wheel in front.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable. The first classified climb carries a 4th category label. There will be 1 point for the polka dot jersey.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway.
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The breakaway is losing ground.
Well, on flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen.
At the front of the race, it's time to pick up something to eat. The breakaway is losing ground.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
The breakaway will soon fight it out for the intermediate sprint. The first will pocket 20 points towards the green jersey. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
The head of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint.
Courage! Allez les gars, courage! Allez, go! Continuez comme ça! Allez les gars! Allez les gars! Bravo les gars!
Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint.
The first rider to the top of the next climb will pocket 1 point for the climber's jersey.
The first riders are 2 kilometers from the climb.
Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute. Another 20 kilometers, and it's not looking good for the breakaway. With this gap, it's hard to believe that it can hold out until the finish. Looks like the breakaway still has some gas left. It's still able to widen the gap.
The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win.
30 seconds lead for the head of the race.
Allez les gars, courage. Allez les gars, on continue. Allez les gars, allez les gars, allez.
5 kilometres for the breakaway.
5 kilometers for the breakaway. It'll be tight for the stage victory.
Three kilometres for the peloton. The sprint is inevitable.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Bravo les gars! Allez les gars, courage!
It's the red pennant. The sprint will be launched.
Last kilometer. You've got to sprint.
This stage is his. He was the strongest. Here is the winner of the Redon Fougère stage. He's amongst the leading riders. We can say that he's amongst the... We can say that...
We had no real ambitions for the classification of this stage. The least that can be said is...
He's currently on the podium for the general classification. This individual time trial is a decisive moment for him. Come on, let's cheer him on as he deserves.
Here we go. You push right from the start. Begin at the bottom of the short climb, so you've got to be on the pace right away so you don't lose time. Go on, it's uphill for 1 kilometer. Go on, the right tempo straight away. Go, go! Go on, almost at the top.
Allez, vas-y, continue, continue! Allez, allez!
Come on, over the top. Watch out for the bends on the way down. No silly risks. Come on, step on it. It isn't long, just a small bump. Go on, push hard on those pedals. Go, go! Now it's less hilly and there are fewer bends. Get into TT position and manage your effort. The first intermediate time check is in 5 kilometers. Go on. Keep in TT position. Go! Watch out. There are a few bends to be negotiated in the last kilometer. You're coming on to a short 1 kilometer climb. It's a fairly easy ride. You've just got to push. Go! Go! Go on! The intermediate time check is coming up. You're off the pace. Try to speed up. You can do better. Come on. The terrain is very easy. Keep going. Go. Go. Guys, it goes up a bit. Keep up the tempo. Go.
Allez, on attaque, allez.
Continue comme ça.
Keep going. Go. Go.
Allez, 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 allez.
Ouais, on continue.
Bravo. Allez, allez.
Allez, on lâche rien.
Watch out. There are a few bends to be negotiated inside the town. Stay well focused.
Allez, 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 fonce, 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 fonce.
You're coming to the second time check. Go. Go. Go on. It's not bad. You're managing your effort pretty well. Go on. Keep your position. It's flat until the last 2 kilometers.
Allez, plus vite, plus vite.
Go! Only 5 kilometers left. The route ends in town. There are a few good bends. Keep a clear head and get a good breather before hitting the final climb. You'll soon be on the final climb. It's uphill for 1 kilometer. It's very steep at the bottom. Try to hit the bend at the bottom of the climb at full pelt so you don't lose speed. right to the line. Pull up.
A few minutes ago, he was first. We can say that he tops the. He will climb on. He's amongst the.
We were aiming for a top 10 place on this stage, and we failed. It's a pity.
Hello to all. It's a long stage that awaits the riders today, almost 200 kilometres in the saddle. If the profile leads little doubt as to the scenario that will be played out, one can imagine, however, that the upward sloping finish will lead to an unconventional sprint.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work. The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
On flat stages, that's not where you see the most drama. You can accelerate forward if you think that nothing important will happen.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady.
The gap is increasing. We don't need to ride for now. There's nobody dangerous for us in the breakaway. The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. The gap is decreasing, guys. The peloton should be there for the stage win. of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint. Watch out! You're not going to be able to attack for much longer.
The race leaders are into the feed zone. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
The riders up front still have something left. They're upping the pace to try to hold out till the end.
Only 20 kilometers to go and the breakaway has... peloton. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race. Only 15 kilometers left for the lead riders. The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out in the final kilometers.
Allez les gars, courage! Continuez comme ça!
The last 10 kilometers. We are heading for a grouped finish. Try to take points for the green jersey. Watch the demeanor of the other sprinters to know when to launch your sprint. If you start too soon, you will be unable to continue your effort to the line. If you start too late, you will not have time to work your way to the front.
Continue là, plus vite, plus vite. C'est bien, allez.
Allez les gars!
Continuez comme ça.
On continue comme ça.
Allez! Continuez comme ça! Allez les gars! Continuez comme ça! Allez les gars!
Continuez comme ça.
Allez les gars!
Just 5 more kilometers. Stay well positioned to avoid losing time due to a break.
Allez les gars, courage.
Continuez comme ça!
Bravo les gars. Courage, allez.
The pieces are moving into place for the mass sprint. Niceties are exchanged as everybody wants to be on the right wheel.
He is all smiles as he climbs onto the... He tops the standings and he tops the... We can say that everything he's amongst the...
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage today, finishing in the top 5, even though... It's a day in the mountains. The fit...
Hello everyone. On this stage, reserved exclusively to the roads of the A department, the riders have got their work cut out for them. With climbs spread along the whole length, notably the Grand Colombier, they're going to have to tough it out. Nobody can afford an off day.
If one of the big favourites for the Tour tries to escape, his direct rivals will get their teammates to ride. This is why the big players wait for the end before attacking. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. There's plenty of damage at the back of the peloton. It will be a long day in the saddle for those who fall behind.
1 minute for the breakaway. It's looking good.
The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front.
The breakaway can't widen the gap. 30 seconds between the breakaway and the yellow jersey. The climb to the Col du Sapel, the second pass of the day, has now begun. 8.8 kilometers at 5.6%.
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the summit. We'll have to do our utmost to score points if we don't want to fall behind on the climber standings.
Only the first 4 riders to the top will score points in the mountain standings.
You were first over the top of the climb. That's good.
The yellow jersey group is 1 minute from the head of the race. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
Acceleration in the peloton.
His team is starting to ride behind you because they seem to consider you dangerous for the stage win.
The race leaders are approaching the intermediate sprint.
The first riders have reached the intermediate sprint.
The gap with the yellow jersey is melting away. The escapees will have difficulties going all the way to the finish.
Bravo les gars! Continuez comme ça!
Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint.
The next difficulty is also classified as third category. The first 2 to the top score 2 and 1 point towards the polka dot jersey. Head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey.
I don't know if it's a bluff, but the breakaway looks to be increasing the pace at the front of the race.
The breakaway is being reeled in. It will be difficult to withstand the return of the yellow jersey. The riders are now at the foot of the Grand Colombier. With almost 13 kilometers at 6.8% and sections close to 15, the favourites should take the opportunity to open hostilities. The gap between the favourites group and the front is 30 seconds. The head of the race is entering 3 less demanding kilometres. Time for a short rest before hitting gradients of 15%. The yellow jersey has just joined up with the lead group. The Grand Colombier is classified all categories. There will be a maximum of 20 points to be earned for the polka dot jersey.
A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Allez les gars, courage!
Bravo les gars! Allez les gars! Lâchez rien, allez! Continue comme ça! Allez les gars! Lâchez rien! Ouais! Lâchez rien!
Courage, continue, continue. Allez, on y va. Allez, courage les gars, allez plus vite.
Watch out, there's an attack.
The peloton is 2 kilometers from the summit. With 30 seconds the head of the favorites group. They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. He's got his teammates riding because he's a danger to the overall standings.
1 kilometre from the summit, and nobody's managed to get away on their own. Will someone manage to break clear on the way down?
Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall. He's putting his foot on the pedal because he's a danger to the overall standing. He's being left behind. It's good news for the overall standing. He'll be the new polka dot jersey. He can no longer be caught today.
The descent is long and fast. It will take the riders to Angle 4, from where there will be 8 kilometres left in the race. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey.
Continuez comme ça. On continue comme ça.
Allez les gars.
Allez les gars, allez, go, go, go.
Allez. Courage, on continue.
Allez les gars, courage.
Continue comme ça. Allez.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Acceleration at the front of the peloton. No falling asleep. Only 8 kilometres left for the head of the race. It's flat all the way to Cologne. There's an attack at the head of the peloton.
Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy to attack. Only 5 kilometers left for the race
Allez les
leaders.
gars.
Allez les gars.
Allez les gars, courage.
Allez les gars, courage.
Allez les gars. Allez les gars. On continue comme ça.
Watch out. You're not going to be able to ride out of the saddle for much longer.
Allez, allez les gars, courage.
Courage, on continue. Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars, continuez comme ça.
Courage, on continue. Lâchez rien, allez. Allez, courage les gars.
struggling to catch up.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Keep calm. You're doing fine. You're going to win it. Go! Go!
Allez les gars, courage. Allez, courage les gars, allez plus vite.
Here comes the red pennant.
This is the last kilometer. Go! Go! One more effort.
Bravo les gars, c'est bien.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome him warmly. Here is today. He will climb onto the podium. He will climb onto the podium. He's amongst the leading. He tops the standings.
Great, guys! I wasn't expecting anything from this stage, and you bring home a podium place? Well done to you all! Great, guys! I wasn't expecting anything from this stage, and you bring home a podium place? Well done to you all! It's a day in the mountains. The finish isn't decided at the top of the climb, but the route is challenging.
Hello to all. With a formidable triptych of Côte de Mont-Saxonais, Col de Rome and Col de la Colombière, the first alpine stage of this Tour de France is already an important rendezvous for the contenders for final victory. Perhaps, by the end of the day, some will have abandoned all hopes of yellow in Paris. The riders are already hard at work because the stage begins with a king of the mountain summit that is classified as second category. There will be 5 points to be had for the first to the top.
There's plenty of damage at the back of the peloton. It will be a long day in the saddle for those who fall behind. The peloton doesn't seem to want to let the lead group get away. Some teams must think that there are too many people up front. The tempo is increasing at the head of the race. The breakaway riders will try and manage the time gap. Guys, don't forget to protect our leader. Communication is important. That's why we have Team Com.
The feed zone is in sight for the head of the race. Riders will be able to pick up some nourishment. The intermediate sprint is approaching. It's probably the last time we'll see the sprinters at the front of the peloton today, because afterwards the riders will begin the daunting triptych Côte de Mont-Saxonais, Col de Rome, Col de la Colombière.
Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint. Watch out. You will soon have no more energy to attack.
There will be 5 points for the first to the top.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton. I don't know if it's a bluff, but the breakaway looks to be increasing the pace at the front of the race. The leader of the general classification does not necessarily have to attack. Depending on his lead, he can simply follow attacks and counter at the very end of the stage.
There will be 10 mountain jersey points for the riders first over the top. The riders up front have a 1-minute lead on the favourites group.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The ascent of the Colombière is underway. Final ascent. Must be landed because the descent towards the Grand Bornard shouldn't allow the positions at the summit to be changed.
He's attacking to catch up. The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The first 6 riders at the top will pocket the points towards the polka dot jersey. There will be 10, 8, 6, 4, 2 and 1 point to be gained.
The leader was in danger, but he's once again leading the overall standing. For now, he's the virtual yellow jersey. Watch out! The yellow jersey is trying to get away. We mustn't let him.
The gap between the favourites group and the front is 30 seconds. The lead rider has 30 seconds on the favourites. There will be time bonuses at the top of the climb. 8, 5 and 2 seconds for the general classification.
Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you will hit the wall. Polka-dot jersey has enough lead to be sure to keep it today. You seem to be running on empty. Lift your foot if you don't want to blow up.
10 kilometres for the front of the race. Apart from the last 3 kilometres, it's downhill.
Allez, plus vite, plus vite.
Only 5 kilometers left for the race leaders.
We're at the bottom of the descent and it looks like victory will be fought out in the sprint. The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race.
Try to manage things so that you don't blow up before the line.
Allez, on attaque, allez, on se bouge.
This is the last kilometer. Go, go! One more effort.
A few minutes ago, he was first across the finishing line. Here is the winner of the Oyonnax Grand Bonheur stage. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. He's in sparkling form, and you can clap him loud. He tops the standings and will receive. We can say that everything.
Huge congratulations for this win, guys. Our chances of victory were virtually nil. This is an up. It'll be a very demanding day for everyone. Several mountain passes and a summit finish await you. This is a key stage for the general classification. You will have to be there on the final climb if we are to do well. It'll be difficult to keep up the pace of the best. I think that we'd better anticipate the attacks of the leaders and attack from far out. Good luck, guys!
Hello everyone. The legendary Alpe d'Huez climb will be the decider today. But before getting there, the riders must first climb the Telegraph and the Galibier, a short and relentless stage that promises to be a great show. After a downhill start, the riders will begin climbing towards the Col de Telegraph after only 15 kilometers in the saddle.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
One and a half minutes for the breakaway. It might just work.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
The breakaway is passing through the feed zone. The front of the race begins. The ascent of the Galibier. It's a highly erratic climb. Percentages vary greatly, and it's very difficult to find the right pace. An ascension for thoroughbred climbers. The breakaway can't widen the gap.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
The riders will soon be at a spot called Plan Lachat, a short shelf which the riders should try to make the most of before beginning the final section of the Galibier, much more difficult. The Galibier is obviously classified all category. It's an important moment in the fight for the polka dot jersey because it means that points are doubled. The first at the top scores 40 points, an opportunity not to be missed.
There's a big time gap with the breakaway, but it's not our concern. We are interested in the overall standings, not the stage.
The advance of the lead group should be enough to carry it to the end. The intermediate sprint is approaching, but there is little chance that the candidates for the green jersey will be able to score points at this stage of the race. Alpe d'Huez is a 13.8 kilometer 21 mythical bends. Who will enter the legend this year?
Looking good! Here we go!
Today's winner will also pocket 20 more points for the mountains classification, since the Alpe d'Huez is obviously an all-category climb. 10 kilometres left for the head of the race. The advance of the lead group should be enough to carry it to the end.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed. Teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer. Okay, we'll consume a feed. Only 5 kilometers left for the race leaders.
Acceleration at the front of the peloton. No falling asleep. Watch out, there's an attack at the head of the peloton.
You're on your way to the top spot of the white jersey standing. It's great. Keep going, kid. Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall. You'll get his team to ride behind you, but it's worth a try. He's chasing after you. You must hold out. Go, go!
less than 2 kilometers from the finish.
He takes the virtual lead of the overall standing.
The red pennant is in sight for the front of the race.
The breakaway is 1 kilometer from the finishing line.
Continue comme ça. Komm schon! Komm schon! Komm schon!
You seem to be running on empty. Lift your foot if you don't want to blow up.
This stage is his. He was the... We can say that everything is... He's amongst the leading riders this year. We can say that everything is going well for him at the moment. He tops the standings and we'll see...
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10, even though the stage didn't suit us, is very satisfying. We take the green jersey. It's a good day.
Hello and welcome to all. After a rest day, the riders will resume the tour on the road into the Rhone Valley. We can call it a transition stage, on which the speed merchants should have pride of place, because a mass sprint is expected to bring down the curtain in Valence. The breakaway is widening the gap, but there's nobody who's a threat to the overall standings.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The time gap with the head of the race is stable. The breakaway is widening the gap, but there's nobody who's a threat to the overall standings. The time gap between the peloton and the breakaway is decreasing. The time gap with the head of the race is stable.
You must constantly try to shelter from the wind, so as not to consume energy. This is what allows a rider to edge clear at the end of the race.
Time difference between the peloton and the breakaway is steady. The next climb is classified as third category. There will be 2 and 1 point available towards the polka dot jersey.
The breakaway is upping the tempo at the head of the race. It doesn't intend to be caught up that easily. The head of the race is 3 kilometers from the intermediate sprint. Here's the winner of the intermediate sprint.
The breakaway is losing ground.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the peloton.
Guys, after the next short climb, you'll have to stay up front. The finish will still be far off, but things could go fast because it's downhill, so it could splinter. It would be stupid to lose time.
Last time checked with the breakaway, 1 minute. 30 seconds lead for the head of the race. 15 kilometers from the finish. The peloton is in pretty good control of the situation and should soon catch up with the breakaway riders. We should witness a mass sprint.
Lâchez rien, allez. Allez, courage les gars.
Another 5 kilometers. One man is alone up front.
Lâchez rien, allez.
Allez les gars, continuez comme ça.
Allez les gars, on continue.
Continuez comme ça.
Only 3 kilometers to go for the man at the front.
Lâchez rien, allez. Allez les gars. Bravo les gars. Bravo les gars.
Final kilometer for the man at the front. It will be a solo victory.
A few minutes ago, he was first across the finishing line. Here is the winner of the Abel. He will climb onto the. He tops the standing. We can say that.
Well done, lads. You pulled off a great performance today. Getting into the top 5 of this stage is a good result. We retain the green jersey. It's a day in the mountain.
Hello and welcome to all. Sitting in the middle of the Tour de France, this stage is a key moment in the race for the yellow jersey. With 2 ascents at the Mont Ventoux, the giant of Provence will be both the major attraction and the major difficulty of the day. However, the summit will not mark the finish of this stage, and it will require qualities as a descender to cross the finishing line as winner.
The peloton is riding hard. Stay well placed.
The time gap between the peloton and the escapees is stationary. The first classified climb for the mountains classification carries a 4th category label. The first at the top scores 1 point. The breakaway can't widen the gap. The next King of the Mountains summit is ranked as a 3rd category. Only the first 2 riders over the top will score points towards the best climber classification.
First riders have reached the intermediate sprint. When going downhill, the aerodynamic position is useful to increase speed without expending energy.
The yellow jersey has caught up with the head of the race.
It is not always a good idea to be too many in a breakaway, as the others will not necessarily want to cooperate with us. Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall.
Head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey. The feed zone is approaching for the front of the race. The time to load up on what's necessary to face 2 climbs of Mont Ventoux. The yellow jersey group is 1 minute from the head of the race. The front of the race is now going through the village of Sault. The first climb of the Mont Ventoux will begin soon. The first ascent of the Giant of Provence is now underway for the front of the race. The climb along the eastern flank is longer, but it's also less steep. The average gradient is not much more than 5%. The riders would only hit slopes of over 7% after reaching the Chalet Reynard. He's a very good puncher. He's rather limited in the mountains and his top speed is not really a reliable asset.
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
He's after the points classification. He can only rely on his qualities as a ruler. Sprints and climbs are not his thing. Primoz Roglic is a stage race specialist. Very strong in the mountains and able to accelerate in the final meters, he bounced back from his Tour de France 2020 disappointment to win Liège-Bastogne-Liège and, for the second time in a row, the Tour of Spain. Just like his brother Elia, Attilio Viviani is a pure sprinter. He's marked the history of the Tour. He's an outsider. He must be watched. He has eyes on the overall standing. He's a good sprinter, often used as lead-out rider to drive mass sprints. He's a luxury teammate. He'll do his utmost to help his leader. The Italian rider, Filippo Ganna, is a pure specialist of solo effort. Of the 8 time trials he raced in 2020, he won 7, picking up in the process the title of World Champion of the speciality. Thanks to his abilities on mountain roads, coupled with his time trial skills, Pierre Latour has the qualities required to aim for the general classification in stage races. He's a complete rider with no real weaknesses. He climbs, rides, and sprints not too bad. A pure climber, Nairo Quintana embodies Colombian cycling. Despite his weakness in time trials, he does have the Tour of Italy and the Tour of Spain among his career achievements. Pretty much of an all-rounder, this young rider still has everything to prove with the professionals.
Okay, I'll follow on the attack.
Excellent climber, Rigoberto Urán is in the same vein as those Colombian climbers who have marked the history of cycling. promising climber, Ivan Souza is in the tradition of pocket-sized Colombian climbers. He has ambitions for the polka dot jersey. The head of the race has 1.5 minutes lead on the yellow jersey.
C'est bien.
The breakaway has climbed to the Chalet Reynard. The slope will become much steeper, with percentages far higher than on the first part of the ascent. Mont Ventoux is classified all category. The first to the top will score 20 points towards the polka dot jersey classification.
Watch out. You'll soon have no more energy to attack. Watch out. He's organizing the chase behind you because you're dangerous. But nothing ventured, nothing gained.
"30 seconds between the breakaway and the yellow jersey. The gap with the yellow jersey is melting away. The escapees will have difficulties going all the way to the finish.
The front of the race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
Yellow jersey has caught up with the head of the race.
Keep an eye on him. He's the best climber in the breakaway.
Another 1 kilometre of climbing for the group at the front before going over the top of Mont Ventoux.
It doesn't seem to be a good day for him. He's being distant.
The descent towards Malocène is long, but it's neither technical nor treacherous. It will be difficult to open any big gaps. Adam Yates, like his brother Simon, has both the qualities of a climber and the resistance to allow him to figure among the leaders in the overall standings of the Grand Tours. Nicknamed the Rostock Gorilla, Andrei Greipel is a member of the sprinter caste. Even though he's had no major wins over the last few seasons, his list of achievements includes no less than 150 professional victories. He's on the list of favourites for the overall standings, but beware, his team has another rider able to target the leaderboard.
The end of the stage is not far off. Stay awake. It will soon start to move in the peloton. The leader of the general classification does not necessarily have to attack. Depending on his lead, he can simply follow attacks and counter at the very end of the stage.
The yellow jersey has just joined up with the lead group.
His team is riding for the overall standings. The front of the race will struggle to widen the gap.
Allez les gars, courage!
On continue comme ça.
The first riders are at the foot of the descent and are now going through Malocène, the town that hosts the finish. They will then head towards Bédouin for the second ascent of Mont Ventoux.
Got his guys riding. He must have good...
Okay, I'm coming to protect you.
The breakaway increases its lead on the yellow jersey group. The gap is 1 minute between the favourites and the guy in the front.
Allez les gars, courage!
Allez les gars, continue comme ça.
Allez, courage les gars.
Bravo les gars.
Allez, courage les gars, allez plus vite.
Allez les gars.
Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars, courage. Courage, continue.
Les gars, bravo les gars. Continue comme ça.
Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars, courage. Continuez comme ça.
Lâchez rien, allez.
Continuez comme ça les gars.
The breakaway is being reeled in. It will be difficult to withstand the return of the yellow jersey.
Allez, on y va.
Allez les gars.
Allez les gars, courage. Mais voilà. Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Allez les gars. Allez, courage les gars.
Continue comme ça. Mais voilà. Bravo les gars. Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
The time gap with the head of the race isn't changing, lads.
Allez, allez, allez. On continue les gars.
Allez les gars, courage. Continuez comme ça. Allez les gars, continue comme ça.
Allez, allez.
The second ascent of Mont Ventoux is via the southern flank from Bidouin.
Allez, courage, on continue.
This is the most emblematic route and the one most used by the Tour de France.
Continue comme ça, allez. Bravo.
Continue comme ça.
The front of the race has reached the business end of the stage.
Lâchez rien.
It has just gone through the Saint-Estève bend. From now, the slope will regularly rise above 10%. And so the final climb of the Mont Ventoux has begun. The foot is not very hard, but it's better to be well placed from the start rather than expend unnecessary effort later on.
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça.
Allez les gars,
Allez les gars, on continue comme ça. Lâchez rien.
got his teammates riding because in front there's a rider who's dangerous to him in the overall standing. A teammate has just been dropped. You can't count on him any longer.
Lâchez rien, allez!
They're riding hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax. Reduce speed a bit, otherwise you'll hit the wall.
The yellow jerseys just joined up with the lead group.
Lâchez rien, allez!
Allez, on lâche rien. Allez.
Continue comme ça.
Allez, vas-y, on est avec toi. Allez, vas-y, continue. Allez, vas-y, force. Allez.
On y va. Allez, on y va.
Allez, allez! Continue comme ça! Continue comme ça!
Allez, continue comme ça.
Allez. Vas-y, ça monte. Allez, tu peux y arriver.
Plus vite.
Vas-y.
Appuie. Allez, courage, continue. Allez, ne plus te répéter.
Allez, fonce. Allez, tu peux le faire. On y croit, allez.
Plus vite.
Allez, plus vite!
Bravo.
Oui, plus vite. Allez, on y va. Encore.
first have reached the Chalet Reynard. It will be a little less hardening for 1 kilometre, the time they catch their breath before facing the final and ever steeper slopes of the Mont Ventoux. As with the first passage over the top, there will be points for the first 8 riders at the summit of Mont Ventoux. However, in addition, this time there will be time bonuses for the first 3 riders. 8, 5 and 2 seconds for the general classification. The observatory is in sight for the head of the race.
He takes the virtual lead of the overall standing.
Three more kilometres of climbing for the head of the race. Anyone who wants to avoid a sprint finish will have to edge clear before reaching the top of Mont Ventoux. The gap between the favourites group and the front is 30 seconds.
The race is 2 kilometers from the summit.
We're now into the final kilometre of the ascent. The man at the front will try to pick up a time bonus, but his pursuers are on his heels. Stage victory is still undecided. And the descent is on. Another 22 kilometres for the stage leader.
The polka dot jersey has enough lead to be sure to keep it today.
Only 20 kilometres to go before the finish in Malocène. There's only 10 kilometres left for the man at the front. Another short effort and he'll have it won. There's an attack at the head of the peloton. Only 5 kilometres before the finishing line.
Only 5 kilometres left for the race leaders.
Final kilometre of this stage.
The breakaway is 1 kilometre from the finishing line.
This stage is his. He was the... He's in... He tops... He's in...
Well done, lads. You rode a very good stage. Finishing in the top 10,